Hey everyone, in today's Arc Raiders video, we are going to go over the reaction that players have had to the new changes regarding the upcoming expedition. Arc Raiders recently released their big changes to the expedition that's about to happen here in a couple of days, and I made a full video about it, which I'll have a link in the comments below. But the overwhelming reaction to these changes from the player base were negative. So in this video, we are going to talk directly about the major point of contention and some constructive thoughts on what could potentially be adjusted to make players actually happy with this change. So the big change for this season's expedition in Arc Raiders revolves around the additional 5 skill points that players can get by resetting their account during this event. Now, previously in Season 1, players needed to acquire a stash and coin value of 5 million in order to receive the bonus 5 skill points, and this value was adjusted down to 3 million for Season 2. Well, now, this current season, players no longer have to build up a stash value of 3 million, but rather they must log in during a 5-day window between April 28th and May 4th and deal damage to players or Arc in order to earn their 5 bonus skill points. How much damage will be necessary is not yet known, but we do know that if you want the skill points, you'll need to be an active player during that time period. Now, there is a positive to take away from this change, and that is that players no longer will feel the need to hoard gear and money that they've collected over the course of the 8-week expedition. And now they can freely use all of that high-value gear in a meaningful way in the game. Before this change, players' stashes became more of a vault for high-value gear and weapons versus a temporary storage that acted as a holding area for gear that they would inevitably use. So in this regard, I do agree with the overarching reason for this change. However, I think the big issue lies with the implementation of this feature and how it penalizes players that might not be able to play the game during the 5-day window to reap the rewards. Now, to be fair, a new feature is also being added known as the last call, which will pop up a window to players that missed logging into the game during this expedition window to confirm their intentions to reset the account. This means that players that forget to log in or aren't able to play during the 5-day window can still commit their account to the reset, but they will not gain any of the 5 extra skill points. These missed skill points can be made up via the catch-up mechanic the following season, but this means that players will have to wait 8 weeks in order to gain that benefit. So this feature is great, but it doesn't really help players gain the skill point benefit of the expedition if for whatever reason they can't log in during the 5-day window. And this is the problem. So there it is. I like the reason for the change from accumulating coins to dealing damage, but I don't like that it forces players to log in during a small window of time and then asks them to play for X amount of time to complete the damage challenge. A change that I think would resolve this problem is just let players complete the 6th stage of the expedition, in this case dealing damage, and press the button to commit their account to the expedition at any point during the 8-week season. So for example, a new expedition season starts, I have 8 weeks to complete the project in its entirety, including the final stage, and I can commit to the expedition instead of having to wait until the final week to let the game know my intentions. This will allow players to progress and ultimately complete the expedition project at their own pace, and it makes the most sense for those with busy lifestyles. So that's just an idea, but I'm sure there's a ton of ways to ultimately keep the concept change that they made, but make it less of a strict time constraint on players. Also, the final stage of the expedition requirements has changed every single season so far, and in each case, we learn about those changes with just a few days to prepare. So in this case, it's only been 10 days in advance. And while Embark has said from the beginning that the expedition process is not in a definitive state and is subject to change as they try out different things, and that's great, but at some point it would be really nice to know at the start of the season what players are going to be expected of and required to do instead of learning about it at the last minute. Anyway, that's where we're at. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, and I really appreciate you dropping a like on the video. And for fun, I did put this raid at the end of the video for you to watch because it was pretty epic, and it was actually the first time I had ever queued as a solo player with squad fill on. So I'm almost 2,000 hours. I've never played with squad fill on before. It was pretty funny. Enjoy the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Down there.
What is that usage of the frickin' lure, bro? What about my frickin'...
The administration building. Raider, there.
Oh, you're right.
Did I win? I did it! Now we're gaming! Chicharito! Where's Chicharito? He's gone. Oh, he's in Narnia. He's on the freaking room.
Hey, Del Toro.
One guy got away. He fell down here.
The Raider, down there. Hey,
He's got the new freaking shotty or SMG. And there's bodies everywhere. One guy did crawl away, he fell down this hole. Two guys got away, actually.
I've got some metal parts. Head home at the Red Lake hatch. I've got a hatch key.
How does he not die there? Where did he fall to? Bro, just like up in this beard.
Head home at the Red Lakes hatch.
What? Where did that guy go?
Yes.
I have no nades.
Down here. Actually, no. Head home at the Red Lakes hatch.
Do I have light nades on me? They're listening to my comms, dude. What the frick? It's kind of goated, no? Uh-oh. Not Chicharito. We got problems. Does he not have heals or something?
Danger. Raider. By the administration building.
Bro, I wish I had a renegade now. These boys are in trouble.
By the administration building. Up there. Up there. Up there. Up there. Up there. Raider.
I'm trying to keep him at bay. Let's go, boys! These guys are too scared to move. GG, boys. Don't forget to go in. You only have like 3 seconds. Oh, I forgot to switch Napo. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Chicharito survived that. He was down to 1 HP.